picking up, one of my kids at 3 o'clock, 3:30. I don't know what they had for lunch. I'm hoping it was a good lunch, but if I didn't make the lunch, I really don't know what they had. And then I'm driving them to their practice or their event, and I got to be thinking in my head, I'm putting this young man or young woman on the field, and I don't know if they're running on empty or not. So I'm not going to drive into McDonald's. That's child abuse, right? I got a case of Essentials, in the minivan, right there between the passenger and the driver's seat. I got a case of Essentials on ice, and I know exactly what that's doing for them, and they love it because it tastes fabulous. And then I can relax. And again, when it's time for when it's my turn to do the snack, right? I don't come into with Capri Sun. One of my kids laughs. He says, "Hey, Dad, they just put the R in the wrong place." I arrive with a case of Essentials, and all the other parents, they're curious. So what the heck is that? And they're really curious when they see their kid guzzle it down and ask for another one. And I explain, your kid just had a meal, right? Because one is a snack and two is a meal. Your kid just had a meal. And guess what? It's going to be fully and completely digested before you close the door in your Honda Odyssey over there. All right. So why is that? Because Essentials was designed to be, first of all, it was designed to be used for famine relief. I had connections with the UNDP, the United Nations Development Project, and I had meetings with them back in the late 90s. And they were saying, Stephen, you got all this technology, you got all these scientists. You ought to be able to invent something that we could drop from a plane, right? Because we're talking about, people are starving and there's no roads there. We don't send a truck out to these people. We're talking about places where there are no roads. So make something for us that we can drop from a plane, and then somebody walking along finding one of these things would know exactly what to do. All right. So it can't require any potable water, it can't require any cooking, right? Can't require any preparation. They just open it and drink it and they don't die. And I thought, well, that's not that difficult, because we know what a starving person needs. Mostly they need protein and essential fats. All right. And you certainly can't give them conventional food, because if a person is really starving, they've already started to digest their intestinal tract. So you can't give them conventional food, because then they'll just have diarrhea and they'll die of the diarrhea. We learned that the hard way, because don't forget, for a long time, our food aid to Africa was wheels of surplus cheese.
Wow. Oh, wow.
What do you think that did? It probably saved some people and probably killed more people than it saved. The point being that what we said was, they don't have any digestive capacity, so let's digest the protein for them, and it's not difficult to do. There are enzymes that we used to bring the proteins down from these huge molecules that require hours of digestion, and we then hydrolyze these enormous polypeptides down to di and tripeptides. So now you've got little packages of amino acids, and that's the way the body uses protein, in di and tripeptides. So we thought that was a huge breakthrough. We were delighted with that. If you hydrolyze it all the way down to amino acids, you get some really nasty tastes. But if you stay with 2 or 3 amino acids, di and tripeptides, you still have a little bit of the creaminess of the whey that you started with, but you've got a product that is practically pre-digested. Now the real challenge was, how do we make the essential fats available to the body? And that took another year. That was a lot of hard work. We worked with another company out of Wisconsin, and we came up with a product called, well, it was 100% water soluble, so it was called H2 Omega. 100% water soluble essential fats from cranberry seeds. And that was the basis of Essentials, the diatripeptide proteins, and also the ability that we had to make essential fats water soluble, which was really an incredible breakthrough. Then, of course, we added vitamins, minerals, a little bit of sweetener, xylitol, a beautifully safe sweetener, and then we added on top of that some fiber, and that became known as Essentials.